So monk mode is a protocol or set of rules, 300 pounds, and my daily...
His name is Iman.
Iman has played a huge role.
I f***ed up.
Alright, you know what? Let me cut straight to the chase. You need to get rich, and you need to get rich quick.
Iman Gadzhi appears to be one of the most successful YouTubers in the finance space, and looking at his recent views in channel performance, his cloud levels are definitely in an upward spiral. However, his sudden rise has been met with some backlash. A few months ago, Iman released a program called Influencer Ignited for $1,000. Comments all over the internet are accusing him of being what you would call a fake guru and are questioning the main sources of his wealth. This really sparked my interest, and given that he's been making videos for quite some time now, I sat down and watched through his content dating all the way back to 2016, right? He was just a young JAT with zero bread. So let's take a look at what I found and try to figure out how legitimate his self-proclaimed 30 million net worth really is. Can you tell me like roughly what your net worth is? Do around like 1.5 million a month at 1.5 million a month. Okay. Iman Gadzhi was born on January 3rd, 2000 in South Russia, where he was raised by his single mother and grandparents. You could say his life really was a movie as he describes his early life living situation. Similar to the film Borat, much like the shotties in My DNS, Iman did not have a father figure in his life, but his mother and grandmother made him feel like he had someone he could look up to. Growing up, his mother worked 2 jobs to be able to support herself and Imo in. Upon turning 4, they moved to London, which was quite the transition for him. Going from a small town in Russia to all of a sudden living in a huge city took some adjusting for Imo. He went from TV channels that would broadcast the oldest classics to watching the latest videos for Mr. Beast's recent era at the age of 8, instead of getting into devious trouble with his friends. Instead began reading books. He would go to his local library and buy his favorite books, which he would later read at home. Now, these weren't any ordinary Diary of Wimpy Kid books. The man was reading certified hood classics like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the 48 Laws of Power. These rare habits is what separated him from the rest of the children. He was a shy kid and never went out of his way to talk to people, but as he grew, he crawled out of his little shell more and more. This just proves that Dewey risk can't be achieved through watching Alpha M videos alone. Only be harvested with age and experience. Since Iman was now older and more confident, he wanted to make some money. He was still too young to submit a job application, become a certified OC at his local corner store. So he did the next logical thing he could do, which was starting a side hustle. This side hustle consisted of him flipping Instagram accounts. Iman made a slight couple grand from this hustle before departing from the hustle entire. The only logical thing you could do with this money at such a young age is all on Pokemon cards, but Iman was obviously different. He smelled an opportunity and decided to save up his money. Iman dreamed of becoming the next Graham Stephan, so he created his first YouTube channel where he would create videos documenting his entrepreneurial journey. The best part was that he was pretty consistent with his upload, unlike many other YouTubers. Wow! Iman was busy with content creation. He realized Susan wasn't gonna pay for how he wanted. So this time, he decided to use his social media skills and offered to run his local soccer team social media pages for $90 a week. The owner of the organization must have been in the good mood that day because he agreed to the offer, and Iman was contracted to post 4 YouTube videos, 30 unique Instagram posts, and 3 unique Facebook posts every month. This has got to be illegal, bro. 15, and was already working a full-time job with less than minimum wage pay. Although, to be fair, this was technically his first client for the multi-million-dollar ad agency he currently runs, so it was worth it end to end. Something about this hustle really sparked his interest in growing businesses for other people. So Iman dialed in and started reaching out to clueless business owners that would be interested in his service for a whole 7 months. Iman's business was stagnant, so a specific week that changed his life. He hopped on his usual Discord call with a potential client. This time the client was actually interested and ended up hiring Iman. This momentum continued until Imo was racking in $4,500 a month. This was Iman's last straw to become a certified high school dropout. He was now all in on his agency since he had no future at university. The generate like Iman was stacking his bread at a very young age. But this didn't mean his journey was over one day. He discovered Facebook ads, and without any testing or research, he rolled out this new service to his agency. He's just like me for real. Iman should have thought twice before finalizing his decision, because this new service lost his clients a lot of money. Not only that, a lot of his clients ended up leaving his agency after his poor performance. This was a huge L for Iman, but this only gave him more momentum to bounce back from his loss. Iman began pulling back the slingshot by focusing on only one niche. This was the best decision he ever, because when he let over the slingshot, his business exploded. He went from making $10K a month to making over $100,000 in 1 month. This proved that drawbacks can propel you forward even more. Iman was now back on his reading grind, and when he read the 4-hour work week, it was obvious that hiring employees would help scale the agency. The momentum propelled Iman to a different level of rich, and this is where the monk mode Iman was born. He grew his agency, 4 employees with over 18 clients, and every month he was making enough to put a down payment on a California home in the hills. I know this because I recently just put a down payment on a California home in the hills, and even though it seemed like it was smooth sailing for Iman, that wasn't the case. He lost some of his clients here and there, but sometimes equaled up to a loss of $25,000 in 1 month. That would be no big deal for me since $25,000 is my monthly pop budget. But for Iman, this was something that took a toll on his mental health, and it's why the quote that goes when it rains it is one of his favorites. He truly believed when one thing goes bad, everything else will go bad too. So he dealt with moments like these by meditating and hopping on ashwagandha. But as big of a hustler Iman was, he knew any money he lost must be made back. So consulting became a big part of Iman's business. Iman charged mindless individuals $25,000 for 2 days of consulting, coming in at $3,000. Iman started getting some hate for his course due to the high price and alleged lack of technical teaching inside the program. This video has also come to its end, but not the journey. Watch more of our videos to gain knowledge, and we'll keep you entertained at the same time.